Hello everyone and welcome back to Summer Lake. Today to the last speed build of Summer Lake. And you can see jumping right in here, there has something been done. We are already looking at the fully done Main Street, and this one is done by you guys mostly. I asked you to send in wonderful blueprints for the Main Street, and I offered you the chance to win a game code, which I already have for you. And the cool bit is that I was expecting a lot, you know. I'm always, you're the best community. I expect a lot, but what you have been knocking out of the park here is just incredible. So I have actually taken my time to assemble this Main Street with a lot of love and care, just trying to make the best of it. And at a certain point, I decided to, start recording because I just got too long to not record. And so I thought, this episode today will be very interesting because there are a lot of cuts in where I jump a lot forward into my progress. In fact, if I would have wanted this episode, like let alone what I've done in this episode, could have easily been 3 full episodes. But I thought, it's the 10th episode, and I think it is very much needed to end this here. And I also do say already at this point in time that the first tour of this zoo is not done by me, so it's gonna be very cool to see someone else doing a tour of this zoo first, and then I will do a tour with you guys as well, but later on but for today we are looking into the Main Street build. We are going to finish off the Australian area and do little bits and pieces here and there, so you'll be seeing that, and I really hope that from the thumbnail you are as excited as I am, because oh my boy, you guys delivered and I am so thankful. Now, for the sake of the contest, and I will put this down below in the comment as well, I will link all the blueprints I used in this Main Street in the description, and you guys can actually tell me which one you favor in the comments. So in the first comment, you're just gonna tell me who you are going to favor, and I will then basically in the tour announce the winner of this code. So make sure that you really follow all of that, and also make sure to really check the description and check the links, because I really think every single one of those people who provided these blueprints has really earned a follow from you on Steam, or a download, or at least a brilliant rating of it. I did change a few things here and there according to what I wanted to have this Main Street looking like, so just adjusted some of the colors, so please don't hate me. I just felt like this is a bit tuning it down a little bit to make it blend into each other, because you clearly couldn't know what the others are building. So I made it a little bit less poppy and just a little bit more fitting to Summer Lake. But oh my, I am really proud of what you guys have created. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie if I say, with the time available at the moment for me, and with the with the focus on actually animals, I would have not been able to create a Main Street like that. Not at all. You guys really helped me out a bunch, and so maybe I'm even getting 2 game codes, and I'm just going to give it to the first 2 or whatever. And you also will find yourself a dedication space, which you're going to build in a bit. I only need to put in the names, and I will also put in a lot more of a dedication info at the entrance of the zoo, because I really clearly want to make sure that as soon as someone is going to download this zoo, it's right from the start very obvious that this Main Street is only assembled by me and not built, because that would be totally unfair and people would praise me for something I haven't done and I couldn't even do. Like, these buildings you guys have done, oh boy, they are so good. There are some little bits and pieces I would do maybe differently, but this is not because I don't like it, it's just because I would think it fits better to Summer Lake. But that's just a very personal, subjective opinion, and so I'm really happy that you guys brought in some different styles that I would have never done, and funny enough, they really work out brilliantly here. And so I'm just happy. Also, there is one thing from the latest update we can use now finally in a very good manner, and these are the sapling trees. And I just, I always had the issue also in Planet Coaster that the trees were relative to the buildings way too big, and therefore it kind of always created this weird looking Main Street appeal of like gigantic trees and normal buildings if you wanted to keep it in scale somehow. And so I ended up doing it with like kind of tricks and sinking in trees and stuff. But here, having really these saplings really helps a bunch. And kind of had the same issue as always, trying to make these dedication things. You always figure that actually the names are a little bit the biggest issue you have over here, because the signs are mostly very big, and I wanted to have something very small, and so I ended up doing this version over here with the wooden plates from the Australia pack. They are the most small ones that really do fit this little area here quite nicely, and I wanted to have these things in. It's not going to be entirely finished. I will do some tweaks off screen before I release this to the people who are going to do the tour, and just make sure that every dedication is in, because that really is important to me, because you guys really have worked on this so hard, and you deserve every single bit of praise for that. And so yeah, this will happen. I will put this in, and on the other hand of this little very Disney Main Street inspired little pavilion here, I will also put the info that this park is meant to be like a crossover from Epcot and Disney's Animal Kingdom, and at the same time this Main Street has been done by the community. And yeah, I just love to have this little bit in here, because you guys really helped me out on that, and I'm just, yeah, I hope I can translate that into the commentary. I'm really thankful, and I honestly didn't believe that these things were coming in so crazily quick and so good. And you know, it still stands that this is like, this Main Street is curated out of the things I found most fitting, but you guys even sent in more than those. And yeah, again, I'm just so thankful. And people are so talented nowadays. Like, it's, you know, not that people haven't been talented in the Planet Coaster days, but I think the advanced building wasn't just so widespread, simply also because of the interest in, like, you know, in a theme park game. And with the step to Planet Zoo, I think most of the techniques and most of the skill has already been translated into Planet Zoo from the very beginning, because this learning phase of Planet Coaster basically didn't exist anymore, because the games are so similar. And so I think new people that came in already got the big kind of bunch of ideas and techniques available to them to learn this stuff right from the beginning. And I didn't need to go in there like we needed to do this in the Planko days and learn from each other so much. You can just jump into Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, watch a ton of you know, tutorials, and you have all the techniques you need at hand, and you really bring in your own skill. And I think this is really what starts to shine now in Planet Zoo, that the skill set and the overall ability of people to use this planet toolbox to the maximum is really showing now. And I really do like this a lot. And I really start to look at things in the workshop. I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, really? And then I'm just going to download this, look into the pieces, and, you know, it's just really cool to see how people still keep pushing the limits. And yeah, on the other hand side, I also have to say that this Main Street build, as beautiful and as great it is, it also made me kind of sad and realize how much better this game looks over Planet Coaster. Like, this is really reminiscent of my Camel Kingdom Main Street. And if you compare those two to each other, and there is a picture I have for my Main Street, I did compare. It really makes me sad, because when you look at this, you would initially say, well, but it looks the same as Planet Coaster, maybe just a tad bit worse. And, you know, I was the same, and I just opened Planet Coaster and I was like, no. It's like the textures, the shading, the anti-aliasing, the everything is just so much better, and especially the foliage. The foliage is what really sets those two games apart. And yeah, I'm just hoping that in the future we will get a Planet Coaster 2 or something, because oh my boy, that would be amazing, and I would just offer so much more. And honestly, also, I think this is also the first valid performance comparison I can make, because I remember that my Camel Kingdom really, at this point in time where the Main Street was done, already had a significant hit on performance. And even if I do open that today without all the other areas in Camel Kingdom, just solely the Main Street with some foliage stuff and so on, and getting people in, it already starts to drop below 30 FPS at points, while this zoo over here is still easily going 60 FPS with all the animals in. And I had like 8,000 guests in, and it was still very much steady into the 30s, and very enjoyable. And this is really, I have to say, as much as we always kind of tackle upon the performance of this game, which to a certain degree is valid, but sometimes you also have to see how much they did improve. I'm still very curious to see if in the future they can hopefully make the support of high-end graphic cards a bit better, because at this point in time my graphics card is not even maxed out when the game is really already stuttering, and same goes for my CPU. So maybe they can, with some updates in the future, make sure that the game really takes all the available power to run. But other than that, I'm just like super happy with how this zoo still runs, and also it gives me an idea why Malin Zoo from the lady designer still runs so damn good, because her zoo is like, oh my boy, it's so cramped. It's just like completely cramped. But yeah, we are already starting to do some finishing touches here. Some of these buildings are very simple. I'm just going to, I think I won't even do this even more styled. Maybe put some little bits and pieces next to it just to make it look a bit better. But yeah, the zoo is mostly done. It's really, this kind of experience is mostly already done, and I'm just super happy with how it turned out to be looking in the end of the day. Because that zoo is definitely another leap forward in my building skill, and just has been super interesting when it comes to different challenges, making things look different, using different techniques to make things look, just realistic, but at times also very fantasy-ish by, like, Disney standards, if you will. And yeah, I'm just, also it was a little bit lazy, truth to be told. I just copied this one Australian building and just changed a few bits about it. But I thought I can get away with it simply because you would not get close to these buildings. These buildings will always stay in on the other hand side here of the water, and it's kind of this little farm, as I've already talked about last episode. We are doing this little kangaroo farm over here, putting a lot of foliage in the back so that the backstage is vanishing as most as possible, just using a lot of bamboo, because realistically bamboo is the only plant that would grow quite significantly and easily in this area. And then yeah, just working our way in with a lot of logs and stuff like that. It's just very much that what you need. And yeah, I'm just very pleased still with how it turned out in the end, because it didn't take that long, but also because I had this idea in my mind already pretty obviously for quite a few days already, and so I was using everything in here like very straightforward. Let's put it that way. I just used it very, very straightforward because I exactly knew what the style and the looks of it should be. And then I brought in the kangaroos, and it just exactly looked the way it should. Let's just simply put, this is exactly what I wanted to do, putting some enrichment items in so that the animals do good. And then, yeah, you definitely see already that this, I might just put a few rocks in the water just to make this entrance, like the little kind of waterfront a little bit more nice looking. But yeah, so now already we are getting into some last very unnecessary but very nice looking finishing touches. Now, one thing I wanted to do for a while is having a highway in one of my park files. It's not in the zoo, but I just wanted to make sure that we have something that is potentially reminiscent of real life areas, and therefore I was creating a little highway layout here. The thing about this is it is just a backstage prop, okay? So a background, I should call it background. It's not having the highest degree of detail, and simply, that's also because I obviously don't want to destroy the performance by having like a highway piece that would be, I mean, I could make this look like super realistic, but then again, it would have potentially another few thousands of pieces, and that is really not helpful when it's only here to help this thing look like something realistic. And you will be able to tell from the screenshot in the end and also from the build now, it really helps to sell this idea here. It really gives this idea. And I'm even thinking about making a proper intersection over here, just this is kind of connecting to the parking lot. I'm not sure if I will do it, but I think if the time is available tonight, I will do it. I have some very good ideas to do it. But yeah, you can actually see I was just placing this highway here, making sure that this is kind of nice looking, putting some highway signs in as well, and then yeah, that's just how it should be. Like it's actually only here for the sake of realism. I mean, there's no point in doing that actually, because it doesn't really add anything to the zoo, but I just wanted it, I guess. Yeah. So we are at the end of this episode. Again, don't forget to jump down in the description and rate the blueprints that the people have sent in for the Main Street in order to find a winner. Just look into my first comment of this video. It's everything explained in there, and make sure to check those out. Give them a like, give them a follow. It is incredible what these people have brought in, and I'm really proud of what they have created. I'm super thankful to every single one of you, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming days, guys. Now, now enjoy the last couple of screenshots, and I talk to you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I really hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I was really happy to have you here. In case you enjoyed it and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to consider subscribing. You can do it via this button here, and if you want to see more, there's some cool other stuff linked here for you. This is suggested for you personally. That's pretty cool. And in case you want to support the channel a tiny bit more, you can do it via this wonderful Hype Camel link over here. I really would appreciate it. And also big thank you already to all the people who do already support the channel. Really do appreciate that. But now have a wonderful time, guys, and I catch you in the next one.